back to the shop. This weekend we get a lot of work done. We get the sides mocked back up in place, and we get some sides put on. Things are going to start slowing down on this project a little bit just because of the time of year that it actually is. I promised my wife that in the winters that she can have the garage, so I got to start getting this vehicle put kind of back together and kind of a storage mode. Stick around for some questions about what you guys want to see coming up here soon, because like I said, I'm going to be packing this up, but I got some other things planned that I can do during the winter time that's not going to take the whole Jeep. So thanks for watching. So I set up the cardboard template. I don't know if I talked about this much before, but I bought a 50-foot roll of this. It's called Ram board at one of the local home improvement stores. I watched another guy do it. I don't remember what channel I was watching that he did it from, but it's super cheap. I mean, yeah, you go through a lot of cardboard, but this stuff is heavier, and like if you had something that you needed to make a sharp bend or an angle on, it can hold an angle, pretty good, that then you wouldn't have to have two pieces. Yeah, it's kind of floppy, but if it had structure, then it would hold itself pretty good. And you can put a sharp crease in it. Obviously, with the Jeep being flat in most places, it's not really that necessary, but it was cheap. I think I paid like $20 for it, maybe 30. I don't know. So you can cut it with a razor blade, you can cut it with scissors. It's pretty decent. The tape is just simple, whatever, painter's tape. And then I also labeled the panel too, so when I go and make my cut for it, I know where it should be, right? So if I cut both of them at the same time, they may not be exact mirrors of each other, so one might not fit exactly the same as the other. So this is up, forward, and then outside, right. On the inside, I did the same thing. There's an up, there's where forward is, and then it says inside right. The one thing I did learn, and it's a hard lesson for me to learn, but whenever you want to use it, you should, because it comes as a roll. I'll show you the roll here in a minute. It comes as a roll, so whenever you're ready to use it, you should unroll it, cut out whatever size, do a bigger chunk than what you need. Let it rest, let it flatten out. I cut this out, and then this was one piece that's like 36 inches tall. I cut it in half. The other side is sitting on the other side of the Jeep, face down, or roll side up, with a bucket on top of it, trying to let it, get that relaxed. Because this one here, it may look flat, but it does have a bow to it, which is fine because there's, a pretty decent gap back here. But if I flatten everything out, it's almost perfect. So again, the Jeep being flat, not really that big of a deal. I could see it on an angled piece, like on this angled corner. That might be a little bit different story. Right. Here's that roll. Like I said, I got enough. I could do like 10 Jeeps, or I could do the whole tub. And I'll use that stuff too to make my floor panels. And then see, here's the other one. It's just sitting on the ground, relaxing out, resting. So that's how well that one will fit in. So when I go and make this piece, I'll cut this down. It'll fit in just fine. Yeah, let's take a look at it. So like I said, up, forward, outside left. Up, forward, inside left. So, finished off passenger side. I do gotta come and grind this smooth, and then we'll also find where all the pinholes are in here and hit it up. But it's in. I'm not gonna cut my brace off on the top here. Show you on the top here until the other side's done, and then I'll cut my brace off. And then I'll have to adjust the bottom height. Small stuff, but it's in. Definitely took a lot of flex out of that for sure. And then once I get that inner structure and the inside done, it'll help it out, you know, because with lengthening a couple different places, it's gonna make it a little wobbly, even with the body mount in place. So let's jump on over to the other side and do the same thing. Get these tops cut off. This side I'm going to cut off down here, and then we'll check it out together. I'm excited about all this space here. This is insane. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go out, clean up the outsides of these, look for pinholes. Just a little food for thought. So obviously, here's the driver's compartment. You're all the way at the back of the Jeep, pretty much flush with the tailgate right now. I mean, look how much space we've crammed there. Something else that's kind of going to put it in perspective a little bit better. I set this up for you and for me as a visual. So check this out. I put the rear seat in because that's the only one I got in here. The other one's in my storage shed. But here's the rear seat. Pretty much like I was telling my daughter, the back of the door there, that's how much legroom they used to have. Or up until there is how much legroom you got. Look at all that space. It'd be like riding in the back of a Cadillac now. But something even cooler, look at all the space behind it. Like, that's crazy to me. That's a lot of room. I used to have a little like lock and trunk thing that it was in there when I bought the Jeep. But I mean, it pretty much where that cut line is, I mean, you're maybe another inch behind that, and that was the end of the tailgate. So look at all the space. It's pretty fantastic. That side not as much, but I mean, another thing I did, I put the rail on this side, and well, because I drilled 2 holes all the way through, I can line those holes back up, and kind of clips in underneath a little bit. I mean, not like clipped in, but it's straight on there, man. So that's really awesome. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thanks for sticking along, and don't be afraid to build something.